I'm ready to start working on the nose and mouth now, and they're really kind of one piece on an animal like a bear. And because I have created such a nice extended nose and mouth area here, I don't think that I'm going to add on a nose on the end. I'm going to actually work on carving away some of the clay that I have here. And the first thing that I'm noticing, I've pulled up some photographs to use as references. The first thing I'm noticing is that the bear's nose is really squared off. So I'm going to pull some of this clay away and really concentrate on getting a nice flat edge here. And I've also noticed that the nose sticks out more than the mouth, so I'm going to pull away a little bit of clay down here on the mouth. I can always add more on if I feel like I've made a mistake. But now I've got this area here where I'm going to work on the nose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it first. So right now I'm looking at a picture of a bear, and I typed in close up, no I didn't, I typed in bear nose and mouth so that I can see what is going on. Right now I'm creating his nostrils. I think I can go up a little bit higher here. They kind of look like commas to me. If things are getting a little messy, you can always take a dry paintbrush. If your work is dry like mine. If your work is too sticky, too plastic, then you're going to end up getting lots and lots of little bits of clay that just won't go away. So I would wait until it's dried a little bit before you start doing this kind of carving. Okay, I'm going to take this here, and I'm just going to press the side of my needle tool in so that I know where my nose begins. Alright, so I've added the nostrils. Now I'm going to take a look at what happens beneath. The nose comes down to here, and then he has his little mouth here. And my guide, I picked a really funny expression, so I'm actually going to see if I can find just where the bear nose and mouth is plain. And of course that image is very hard to find. Let's see. I don't want teeth. I just want his little mouth. So we're just going to kind of guess then, because I can't really find a good image. I've got some really soft clay here, and I'm going to add a little bit of a chin on, and I'm going to do that by kind of forming his chin before I even add it. Again, think symmetrical. Take your time to make things symmetrical before you add them on, because otherwise you are just going to be trying to repair things the whole time. Alright. So I carved away some clay and ended up adding on some clay. I'm okay with that. That's the beauty of clay. And I may end up adding on the nose now. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. My dude has a little funny expression in this photo, so that's why I'm kind of making this funny mouth. And just smoothing the clay a little bit. You want to check it from the side. In this instance, I feel like the chin is too far forward, so I am going to add some nose. Or actually, I'm just going to push the chin back. So let's just push the chin back, blend it in. This is really soft clay that I'm working with. There, that looks a bit better. And I think what I'll do is add just a little touch of clay, so a little tiny bead of clay, and I'm just going to dip it into my slip so it's really wet. I'm just going to add it onto his nose here. I feel like his nose sticks out further than anything else, funnily enough. Sometimes these things that we assume about anatomy of an animal or even a human, when we actually look at them, we're like, I was wrong. Okay, so that's looking a lot better. I like the way that looks. We're going to get his nostrils back open because I filled them up with slip. There really isn't a line here. And as the clay dries, I'll be able to smooth this better. I'll be able to kind of make this information a little more clear. All right, the last thing that he needs to really look like a bear is a couple of ears. And the way that I'm going to do this is the same way that I made the eyeballs. I'm going to take a sphere of roughly twice the amount of clay I think I'm going to need for the ears, and I'm going to slice it in half. That's going to be too much clay. So I'm going to take this one that I cut in half and I'm going to form it again into a ball, sphere. And I'm going to cut that in half. Then I'm going to take a really good look at bear ears. Bear ears are a little taller than they are wide, except down at the base. They widen out at the base. So, and they're kind of cupped. So I've got this cup shape on the back, which I really like, but I need to make it hollow in here. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take the bottom of my, what is this thing called again? My giant toothpick. I'm going to compress it in there, and then I'm going to just soften this edge a little bit. My bear is furry. I don't think I'm going to be adding a lot of fur texture to him. Now what I need to do, but I was thinking about that as I was looking at the inside of the ear, because I kind of made the inside of the ear look like it might have fur. I'm going to do that same thing again with this one. So what's really helpful is for you to look at what you're doing here as you make it over here. A little bit wider at the base. Oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't see that. A little bit wider at the base, and then again, compress the clay without losing that round area on the back, and then just soften that area in here a little bit. All right, do they compare? This one's bigger, isn't it? Let me flatten this one out a little more. Make this one bigger, because it's the same amount of clay, it just, maybe I pressed down harder on this one. All right, looking good. They're going to set on either side of his head, so I need to cut the base of the ears at an angle so that they fit on nicely. So I'm going to take my needle tool and I'm going to cut this one just a little bit off there, and I'm going to cut this one just a little bit off there. Then I'm going to score on the head where I want those ears to go, and score along the base of the ear. Add a little bit of clay, slip, and put that on. Keep it curved. You can see the slip oozing out there. That's a good thing. I can always clean that up with a paintbrush later. Score that. Add some slip. Get that put on this side of the head there. Again, maintaining my curve on the ear. It's a little. Now I'm going to get that lovely wooden toothpick again and just run it along this edge here. And run it along this edge here. Clean up some of that slip and make sure that there are no gaps that I will just have to fill later. It's got a funny expression. I don't know if you can see that funny mouth there. I may end up adding a little volume to him, but at the moment he's looking like a funny little bear. He's got nose, a mouth, and ears added on in this part of the video.